We'll continue to keep an eye on showers and thunderstorms in eastern and southeastern KELOLAND, including a few that could become strong to severe. We do quiet down as we head into the night. Low temperatures in the 30s and low 40s under partly to mostly clear skies. And while Wednesday starts off dry, we do have showers developing later in the afternoon and evening, more so overnight into Thursday as we kick off the month of May. We'll talk about that, the rest of your forecast coming up. Until then, First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, First at 4.
Coming up, a tornado picked up a puppy and dropped him blocks away from his Nebraska home. We're going to share his tornado tale.
Plus, we have details on some possible requirement changes coming to state jobs in Iowa.
And we hear from an emotional police chief following a deadly shooting in Charlotte, North Carolina. Good afternoon and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Bridget Bennett. Just coming into our newsroom, we have new information about Saturday morning's car crash that killed 2 Sioux Falls teenagers. When first responders arrived in the central Sioux Falls neighborhood, they found 7 kids. Many had been thrown from the SUV. They were all injured. This afternoon, we learned there was an 8th teenager who was inside the SUV when it crashed into a tree and a house. Police say a 15-year-old boy took off from the scene before police arrived. Since then, investigators have found him and identified him. Let's move on to weather with some major rainfall and severe weather moving into the area. Adam?
Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on a couple of severe thunderstorms actually in southeastern portions of South Dakota and now moving into northwestern Iowa as well. What you see behind me is a different scan of our live Doppler radar where it can try and pick up on a hail core in a couple of these storms, and we have exactly that. This is for a severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for portions of northwestern Iowa. That includes Plymouth, Sioux, as well as Cherokee and O'Brien counties. That's going to stay in place until about 4:15. But you notice that area of white there. This is what we look for. And if we sample that, that gives us an indication that we have a hail core within that storm. That's moving to the north and east, and it could produce quarter-sized hail as it moves north and east of Lamar's. But back to a more, I guess, traditional view, if you will. We do still have plenty of rain to talk about, especially northwestern Iowa, where we have that better threat for severe weather in place. Not to be outdone, a few little cells, including one just south of Mitchell, that's going to try and make its presence known on the backside of a cold front that will continue to move on through over the next couple of hours. Here's a view to the west from our downtown camera. 60 at the airport, southerly breeze of 14 miles per hour, but we're going to continue to watch the radar for a little while longer until we get all of this out of here. Temperatures are starting to drop a little bit on the backside of that front, and you can see still where we have that warmer air in place, mid-60s from Chamberlain to Sioux Falls and to Spencer as well, all from 60 to 65, but 50 is starting to come back in with that northwesterly flow up to the north and west, including Faith at 53 and Mulridge at 55. And also with that, the wind picking up again. Notice 15 to 30 miles per hour sustained out of the west by northwest on the backside of that front. Ahead of it, still that warmer southerly breeze that's trying to keep in that instability near and east of I-29. So here's a zoomed out view of live Doppler radar over the last couple of hours. And it's been a line of thunderstorms that's been racing eastward at around 30 to 40 miles per hour, continuing to push on over into Minnesota, and now a little bit of extra development coming up from Sioux City, trying to move on up into northwestern Iowa and southwestern Minnesota. But we are going to watch the backside of that front, as well as more opportunities for something we don't need right now, and that's more rain. Details on that as we head through the hour.
All right, thanks a lot, Adam. Cleanup continues from last week's tornado in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. And while there are so many stories of survival, a dog has one that is simply miraculous. Jim Lampkins with our CBS affiliate in Omaha shares his tornado tale.
Bullies and Beyond Rescue says 1-year-old Rottweiler Zeus was home, upstairs in his kennel when the tornado hit. His family's home was flattened. But where was Zeus? The rescue says his kennel was found 4 blocks away from his house. Somehow, the door broke open and Zeus was found 2 blocks away, lying on a mattress. Stacy with Bullies and Beyond says he sustained minor injuries.
He lost some of the nails on his paw. He's a little stiff in this hind leg, and he had some scratches on his nose. But I mean, from what he went through, he's pretty darn lucky.
I I don't think I would be in such good spirits had I experienced the same type of trauma. So it's pretty miraculous, if you will. What do you think, Zeusy? You agree?
He was found Friday night by the Nebraska Humane Society, where the animal control officer carried the 126-pound dog to safety. I'm told right now the family isn't talking to reporters and wants to focus on rebuilding their home. For now, Zeus is at the vet recovering.
Over in Iowa, the town of Minden is also cleaning up from last week's storm. An Iowa State trooper who was in the area at the time found himself trapped in a whirlwind of debris. Some of it crashed through the window of his patrol car. With some creativity, the trooper used whatever was nearby to patch his window and support the victims of the tornado.
Well, today is the runoff election for the last at-large city council seat. Jordan Deffenbaugh and Richard Thomason are the two choices for voters. KELOLAND's Renee Ortiz takes us to the Faith Baptist Fellowship Church to give us an update on the election. Good afternoon, Renee.
Good afternoon. Well, the polls have been open throughout the day and people have been coming in and out to vote. There are two open candidates for the city council seat. Last election, they received both the most amount of votes. This time, the winner is going to be the person who gathers the most votes. The polls are going to be closing at 7, and I will bring you the winner of the election tonight at 10. Reporting in Sioux Falls, Renee Ortiz, KELOLAND News.
All right, thanks a lot, Renee. One man was taken to the hospital after a fire near Hawthorne Elementary this morning. When crews arrived at the home, there was smoke and flames. One man was also outside. Fire was found in the basement, but the cause of is still under investigation.
A Brookings man is behind bars accused of stealing a payloader and leading deputies on a pursuit. The Brookings County Sheriff's Office says it happened just before 3:30 Sunday afternoon in the area of 216th Street and 472nd Avenue. It was reported that a payloader was driving into oncoming traffic and stopping in the middle of the road. Deputies tried to stop the payloader, but the driver refused. During the pursuit, deputies learned the machine was stolen from a Brookings business. Authorities pursued the payloader into a dead end of a trailer court where it hit a mobile home and knocked over a shed. The driver tried to run, but he was arrested. 36-year-old Rico Jones is facing a list of charges, including grand theft.
The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office is sending out a reminder to residents after an incident in the southwest part of Harrisburg. It happened just after 9:30 last night in the 500 block of Spruce Street. It was reported that 3 people were trying to break into vehicles in that area. They were wearing all black, including ski masks. The people ran off and deputies were not able to find them. Authorities ask people to make sure that the valuables and the keys are always with you, and remember to lock your doors.
One man was arrested after a drug bust in Howard last week. The Minor County Sheriff's Office says it happened at a home on Friday. The home was searched and meth, marijuana, THC wax, and other items were found. 44-year-old Jeremy Ellsworth is facing multiple felony drug charges. He is in the Lake County Jail on a $5,000 cash-only bond.